I'm listening to. They had a mass shooting.
Y'all, what's going on? Side Perspectives, GeoFlex here. I want to talk about something. Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl. Congratulations to them. Congratulations to Mahomes, Kelsey, Tay Swift, the whole organization. But they had a mass shooting, like, basically a week later, while they were celebrating the Kansas City Chiefs winning the Super Bowl in a parade. There was a mass shooting. And it's every time you turn around, there's a mass shooting. A mass shooting. And you have to wonder, like, why is that so common? Like, why are we okay? This is how I view things, right? This is my opinion. This is my perspective. Me personally, I'm not anti-gun, but I'm also not pro-gun, in the sense of I do believe, protection, defense, things of that nature. But I do also believe in gun control, because you shouldn't be having mass shootings at parades, at churches, at schools, at grocery stores. Certain people don't need to have the option to get a gun. And every time you turn around, you can't go a day. Like, I'm in the state of Michigan. I'm from Michigan, the Mitten State. You know what I'm saying? We got the Upper Peninsula and the Lower Peninsula. We can do that in the Mitten State. But I'm from the Mitten State in Michigan. And literally last year, and it's everywhere. It's all over the cities, counties, townships, villages, states, country, all over the United States of America. Last year in Michigan, there was a situation at Michigan State University. It was a mass shooting. That was the situation. A mass shooting took place at Michigan State University, and 3 people were murdered, killed, slaughtered, and other people were injured. And obviously the community and other people's families and friendships and just in general were traumatized and heavily impacted by that directly. So it's like, I don't really get how we're okay with what we've been living in. You can't go to Walmart without worrying about getting shot. You can't go to the movie theater. If Aurora, Colorado, 2012, you can't go to the movie theater. You can't go to school. So many things, from Columbine, Sandy Hook, these were babies, first graders. Not to mention what happened in 2022 in Uvalde, Texas. Those were babies. Those were little kids in elementary getting shot up by AR-15s, assault rifles. Do you know what that does to a body? Like, you having a closed casket. I'm just going to be real. Or you being cremated instantly, because there's nothing to look at. Like, you imagine going to identify a loved one and you're looking at a face that's blown away. That's your loved one. Toe tagged. So I don't really get how people are okay with this just being an ongoing thing. I don't get how people are okay with that. There needs to be some type of control, some type of checks put in place. I feel like, everyone needs to have universal health care, so there can be everybody getting the mental health counseling and therapy that they need, as well as the physical, health care situations and needs. Because there's a lot of people with severe mental illness, and then there's also a lot of people who are just, in my opinion, who are straight up evil. So they don't even have to have a mental illness. They just don't give a fuck. And maybe that is a mental illness. Your lack of empathy, your lack of caring about not only yourself, but others. So that's not okay in my book. In my opinion, that's not okay, and I support gun control. Common sense gun laws. Gun control and reform. I support that. But I'm also not anti-gun either, because I also understand we live in some crazy, we've always lived in crazy, horrible times, quite frankly, in my opinion. And you need to be able to protect yourself, your family, your friends, your community, your loved ones, and yourself. You know what I mean? Self-defense. But do we all need AR-15s? And then also, this is what I be trying to get, because I used to go hunting and do things with my papa as a child. When people sit back and they say they need an AR-15 or a military grade weapon, machinery to go because they're going hunting, in my opinion and in my perspective, I call bullshit. Because if you're a true hunter, one, you're only taking life away from things that are necessary. So you're not doing it for sport. You're not doing it just because. And then number two, if you're taking life for things that are only necessary because you're hungry, because you need to feed your family, or you're trying to get meat for the season or the year, why would you want to use an assault rifle? Why would you want to use an AR-15? It's literally going to chop, for example, if you're aiming at a deer, it's going to chop the deer completely up. Like, you're not going to get any venison meat off of that. Like, what? So that's how I know a lot of you, in my opinion, are full of shit and lying, because it has nothing to do with hunting. Why would I want my game that I'm going to be eating the meat to be ricocheted in bullets?
Mm-hmm.
You're fucking up the meat. There's no dinner for you. There's no venison steaks, venison sausage. I ate a lot of venison growing up. Like, we ate that more than we ate actual cow, because my papa we would be out, like, so, but that's just it. We would have, like, now granted, killing is still killing, whether it's a deer or a human being, etc. It's still taking life away. They're being deleted permanently. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no coming back from that. Whether it's, a deer or a human being, there's no coming back from that. So I do understand, like, it's fucked up, regardless of how I try to twist and turn it. It's still wrong. It's still sad. It's still bad,
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, my papa would, like, we would get, and over the years, things have changed significantly. Because, like, back in the day, if you had a hunting license to get deer and what have you, or go fishing, you had a fishing license, what have you, you could delete more quantities of whatever animal, right? So, like, back in the day, my papa would get, like, $3, and then that would be what we ate for, like, the rest of fall through winter, early spring. And then sometimes it would just last, because we also went fishing. We also, he would get, like, chicken, and he also did other things. Like, crazy as this may sound, anybody from the South, raccoons, possums, rabbits, freaking squirrels, random birds, you name it. Just being real. But now you have different, lower counters, because you also don't want to overkill the animals that are available. They have to produce and live a quality life. And then also, arguably, this is why we should probably be vegetarian. I definitely can see that argument. Because, like, why are you killing and eating? Like, you don't necessarily have to get that for protein. But I also recognize that, choice, freedom of choice, and everybody can't, and everybody doesn't want to do that. But that's why there should be a balance. Be a balance. But the point is, there's a mass shooting. This is happening everywhere. Again, children, kids, adults, everybody, people, humans, animals, everybody is being killed by humans. That's the out cold part. People are being killed by humans. These are humans. These are humans' creations of the AR-15 and the guns that we have and the ammo that we use. it's the animals being, well, it's the animals. Humans are also considered animals because we're mammals. So really, it's kind of wild how we like to distinguish, well, that's a chicken, but I'm a human, but you're both animals. But whatever. But the point is, we're killing folks, we're deleting people, they're permanently leaving. It's like you're pressing delete on the keyboard or on your phone, like, bye-bye. And we're okay with that. You can't go anywhere. You can't go anywhere without thinking, well, this may be my last. I might get a bullet to the temple. They might have to do a closed casket or cremate me. And everyone's just like, well, Second Amendment. And it's like, again, I'm not anti-gun because, again, you have governments that are oppressive and violent and abusive. You have situations where people are harming you and your family, and you don't have the time to wait on the authorities to come. You have to act then and there. I get it. Right. So I understand having a gun. But I also understand people being able to celebrate their favorite NFL football team winning the Super Bowl without being murdered. So that's the thing. It's like, I don't get why we act like everything is, left or right. Like, you can come in the middle to certain things. You know what I'm saying? There can be some even ground. But anyways, information on what took place, which has been taking place all over different towns, cities, village, townships, states, countries around the USA in particular, though, because we just don't have any real common sense gun control. Shout out to Governor Gretchen Whitmer and the Michigan government, whether it's Republican, Democrat, down the middle, third party. They voted to have common sense gun laws increased. They already had them, but they even added more for additional protection because, again, Michigan State, again, Oxford, Michigan, you had a kid go to a high school, and again, this is an ongoing situation. This was happening in the 90s. This is happening in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, the 2010s, and now the 2020s are just like, you can't go a day. It has just gotten that, why are we okay with that? Why are we okay? And then I feel for people who have children. Because, my kids I would work away, find a way for them to be homeschooled. Because this is not okay. You can't even play outside. So, really, because you got people shooting up parks. You got, just whole neighborhoods. What do you think a drive-by shooting was, y'all? It was a mass shooting, but that's a whole nother thing. Even in the black and brown communities, we don't view things as mass shootings. But what do you call shooting up a party because you're mad at one person? Y'all shooting up whole parking lots over one person. That's a mass shooting, and everybody getting killed, people... funerals here and there. They was going to funerals and shooting up funerals. Mm-hmm. Y'all are evil. You're vicious. And like I said, that's a mental illness. That's a mental health issue. There's something psychologically wrong, in my opinion, as a human, for you to be okay with shooting up random people. For real. And thinking war is the answer to everything. What? But that's my opinion. That's my perspective. I get everyone is not going to agree and everyone doesn't have the same opinions and perspectives. But in my opinion, that's some fucked up shit. What? That's some fucked up shit. That's all I'm saying. Did a lot of cussing, probably won't be getting it monetized. So hit up the Cash App and the Venmo, $1, $5, $10, whatever you may want or feel to give. Hit that up. Yeah. Because I get it. I get why they wouldn't want to, support this. This is rated, RMA for adults, mature audience. Anyways, links to what I'm talking about, mass shootings, common sense gun control, what took place in Kansas City, and what type of damage an AR-15 can do to a target. Whether it's a deer, a bear, a human, whatever. All that's in the description box below.